Hello and welcome. This is Sobanjo. I'm glad to have you here with me today. If you're watching this live, can you do hashtag live? I always love to hear from you. And my last video, things were a little too low, and because of that, I wasn't able to post that to YouTube as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just check to make sure that everything is going on okay in the group. And I wanted to make sure. Okay, that I think I can hear myself. So very good. All right. So if you're watching the replay, why don't you do hashtag replay so I can know that you're here with me as well. Right. So today I want to talk about the fact that I really want to see you make $1,000 this month. $1,000 this month. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking, is it possible for me to make $1,000? Yeah, that's it's you. You're the one that I'm trying to do this for. Now, I'm picking $1,000 as a goal because it's always good to have a goal that we're working towards. Now, for you, it may be 2,000, it may be 4,000, it may be 10,000, it may be 20, it may be even 100. Who knows, right? But what I want to do is I want you to picture that amount of money that we're talking about. You want to earn an extra $1,000 from your service, from your business. Okay. Now, a lot of times, business owners, service entrepreneurs, get stuck. Why, and I'm the first person to tell you that I have gone through, and sometimes I still find myself in this kind of position where, you're wondering, and you may be there also, you're wondering, I want to make that extra $1,000 this month or $10,000, like I said. And you're like, how is it going to be possible? Is it going to happen? Now, the first thing that I must tell you is you have to move from, the point of, is it going to happen? To, you have to find a way, whatever it is that you're going to do to get yourself out of there. Because usually what happens is if you're at that position of, how is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? You switch into this mode of desperation and most people, okay, because we're dealing with humans, right? If you're working from a place of desperation, what would happen is people will sense it from a mile away that you're desperate. Okay, so the idea here is not desperation, and you see what happens when you're desperate is the people that you can easily help would walk away, okay, because they're afraid that you're gonna do, you're not competent enough. The people that you would have solve some major problems for would not be able to get that problem. They will not get, that solution for their problems, and that's not good also. Okay. So what we want is we want you to be in a position of, I believe I am, at that point. Okay. If for example, you have a service that you provide, and the first thing that you need to, do, okay, in order for you to actually get to that $1,000 goal or 10,000, I keep saying that, is you need to remind yourself that you have to evolve. Okay. You have to evolve. Okay. Now, what do I mean by evolve? Okay, the version of you that is making the extra $1,000 is not the version of you that made whatever it is that you made before. Okay, there's evolving that happens. There's evolving that must happen. Okay, in other words, if you look at yourself right now, you see, if you're at the point where maybe $1,000 or $10,000 is something that you've earned before in another business. Now, a lot of times people, when you begin to, maybe you're selling products before, to move from selling product to selling your service for $10,000 or $1,000 per client, what usually would happen is you would, your mind will begin to limit you, okay? Because you're so used to doing things the old way. It needs to make sense. I need to exchange, products. Okay, I need to give them products and then they give me back, money in exchange. And so I look at my product and I'm like, is it worth $1,000? Maybe it is. Okay, let's sell it for $4.99. Okay, and then you sell it for $4.99 because it makes sense to you. But then if somebody comes and says, I want to buy that same product for $10,000, you'd be like, no, why would you do that? Right? Because you are thinking that this is, you're thinking about, you're using your own mindset. Okay. You're using your own concept. You're using your own, the way of thinking, your level, and all of that. You're using that and your mindset altogether. You're using that to judge the way your clients are looking at your products and your service. But if your service, okay, and this is why I always say that your service must be solving a major problem in the lives of people. Now, that same service, the same kind of service that I teach and I do with my clients, it can be free. Okay. But you see, the thing is, in order for you to, and if you have, say, for example, you have 5 years, okay, to figure it out. For me now, it's taken me since 2012. So that's 8 years to get to where I am today. If you have an 8 years to put into, the research and the trial and the errors and the, different things that I have gone through, in order to get to where I am right now and actually, get to a place where you're selling your service for 10,000 or more, right? 1,000, 10,000 or more. If you have that 8 years, then for sure, those are the people that would say, you know what, I'll do it for free and I'll go on YouTube and I'll, do all these things. And even for some people, you don't have they don't have the financial resources to get the training, okay, right now. So, just like I didn't have that financial resource to pay for coaching when I first started. I had to work my way, into a place where I was, strong enough financially and mentally to actually put money out and invest in myself. And I'm talking thousands of dollars. Okay. Now, if you're not yet at that place where you're able to invest, what happens is what my clients would pay huge for, you go do the research and you continue to do, the work, because, I need to be with you constantly in order for you to, and because I don't have that kind of time to sit down and coach people, each person, and to get people into a position, there's no way I can find that time, right? And so what happens is, the service that you are providing, people can get it for free. Okay, people can get it for free. There's absolutely nothing in this world that somebody is selling that you can't get for free, especially when it comes to service. Okay, if there is absolutely nothing. There are books. In short, I have a book that I've written and my program is in there. My basic program is in there and it tells you exactly what you need to do. Okay. And sometimes I give out this book for free. Okay. And if you go onto Amazon, you get the book. It's just $15. Okay. So these are steps that people can take. But for you have to say to yourself that, I have this wisdom. I have this service, that I render to my clients. I have, maybe you've sold it to one person. Maybe you've not even sold it before. You need to evolve into the person that can sell the $10,000 package. Okay, I'll say that again. If you want to move from where you are right now, you need to evolve, and I'm talking mentally evolve, okay, into the person that can bring in $1,000, $10,000, because usually what would happen, like I said, is your mind would take you back. Your mind would, you say, that's where self-doubt come in, where you sit down and you're like, you think you can actually do this. As a matter of fact, I remember the first, one of the ebooks, free ebook, that I wrote. Actually, I think this was my effective quiet time guide. If you've had that before, you can, comment below so that I know you've gone through it, if it helped you. And if you're looking for it, you can comment below to effective quiet time guide and I'll send you to where to get it. Okay. And when I wrote that book, I remember thinking, nobody, after I'd published it, okay, I was there. I was thinking, nobody wants this thing. It's not useful. It's useless. I've just wasted my time. Nobody cares about it. It's not, and I just packaged my, my practice, what I do to connect with God. I packaged it into a system that helps other people, because I meet people that keep saying, I don't know how to connect. I don't know, how to plan my quiet time and all that. And I created this, and for the first few hours, okay, before somebody sent me a message and said, oh my God, thank you so much for this. And another person, and then a pastor sent me a message and said, this was really good. This is so useful. Thank you. It's good to know how you're doing your quiet time, and I was like, Can you imagine? I was already doubting myself. This is what happens with our brain, okay? Your brain is not used to the you version, the version of you that is earning 1,000, 10,000 for your service. And so it's going to bring you back to that old one. And that's where, imposter syndrome and all these things, start setting in. Okay. So it's very important that that in order for you to start earning the $1,000 or to earn that $1,000 this month, you need to evolve in your mind. There's a scripture that says, we are, our God is the one that sees things that be not as though they were. Okay. You need to begin to see yourself earning $1,000. You need to see yourself, charging $1,000 for your wisdom. Now, this is a big challenge with a lot of people that are used to, that are not used to, that have not seen themselves selling, their service, and I mean their wisdom. Okay, if you've not done it before, there's an involvement that needs to happen, and it's very important. And in order for that involvement to happen, the second thing that you need to do is you need to make up your mind. In other words, you need to be determined that I really want this. Okay. And obviously, why do you want it? Okay. Why, when you know why you want it, when you know, what exactly it is that you're trying to stop. Okay, what exactly is it that you're, moving away from? Okay, if you know what exactly it is that, for example, for me, I used to feel really insecure. Okay, and I'm like, I'm not sure, I'm not so sure of myself. I'm not so sure, the stories are plenty. Okay, the stories are everywhere. But at a point, I got to a point, I made up my mind that, what, I'm ready. Now, when I said I was ready, when I determined in my heart that I was ready, that didn't mean that I stopped having that self-doubt. Okay? No. In short, if I don't follow my routine, self-doubt can set in any day, any single day. Even now, if I don't follow my routine, if I don't do all the things that I do to make sure that, this version of me is the one that I want. And I want you to have that as well. If you don't make up your mind that you're ready to start earning $1,000 per client from your, expertise and your service, you're going to continue to, somebody will come to you and they'll say, can you help me? And you're like, I think so, but I'm not sure. That's not what we're looking for. Okay. And the third thing, so I've, we're trying to say, what I'm working on today, what I'm sharing with you today is I want you to make $1,000 this month or 10,000, depending on where you are. Okay. But how do you do that? The first point that I shared was you need to evolve in order to be able to, earn that kind of money. And then the second thing is you need to be determined. The third thing is you need to create a system that is going to make that possible. Okay, you need to create a system that is going to make that possible. Now, what do I mean by a system? A lot of people think that what I need is a website. I need to have a website. And usually what happens is you go to that website and it's so busy, and when you get there, a lot of things are happening. Okay, when the person that, for example, needs a service from you comes to your website, you have all sorts of things, and usually what happens is people put their, packages, they put their products, they put the samples, they put their blog, they put all sorts of things happening in the website. And this is what websites usually are like. But you have to, what usually would happen is people would get there and they don't know what to do. Okay, so what you want to do is not create a website, even though it's still a website. What you want to do is you create a system that allows your service to be sold without you being there. Okay, so what it is it's a digital storefront like thing that earns you, that converts your prospects into clients, people that are looking for you. It helps you convert them into clients, because you see what it is if you don't have this system in place, what would happen is people would bounce into your come to your website, or they will even pick your brain. They will say, come, I have this question. Okay, and people would take the time. They would take your time. They would be asking you all sorts of questions. It doesn't mean they're ready to buy. The same set of people, if you create a system that makes it happen, what happens is the same set of people, they see why they need to buy. Okay, and they would, if they are determined and they're ready, they would bring out money. And if this is something that they, that would give them value for where they are, they will take out money, their card, and they will pay for your service. Okay, so you need to have that system in place. Okay, and obviously, what that is. It costs a lot of money sometimes. When you go to if you go to a website designer, they'll tell you bring $3,000. Okay, I've seen even $15,000 websites. Okay, and so I'm trying to make 1,000. Where would I find 15,000 to build a website? Especially when you're just starting. Okay, or maybe you've even paid the 15,000. Maybe you've even paid the 20,000. Maybe you've even paid the 5,000 to create that website, and it's not doing anything. You just say, you know what, it's not working. You put it aside. Okay, I've met a lot of people like this. If you're here and you're watching this and you already have a business, and you already have a website and it's not bringing the money, the reason why it's not bringing the money is not because the website doesn't work, what it is the website is not designed. It's a website. It's not a system. Okay, so what you need is not a website. What you need is a system that transfers and converts your prospects into clients. People that are just looking. You know how you go to the stores and they say, is there anything I can do for you today? And you're like, no, I'm just looking. Okay, there are people that are just looking, and when they come to, what you need is a system that as soon as they come in, okay, and the system that you have in place that starts to roll as soon as they get to your storefront, would convert them into buyers. Okay, so this is exactly what you want for your service. Okay, if this is the service that you have. So again, I was talking about in this video, I just shared 3 points, okay, that would help you to start earning $1,000 or $10,000 from your service, from your business. And the first thing is you need to evolve, to a new version of you that is able to receive $1,000. And in order to do that, it takes determination. You need to make up your mind that for real, I'm ready to start earning. I'm actually at that point. A lot of times, we're afraid to receive money. The question is, how much have you paid? Okay, sometimes self-doubt comes in and you're like, what, I don't think, why would I charge somebody $1,000 for this? It's easy, but trust me, they'll be very happy to pay you for your failures, because then they can avoid the failures. Okay, some of the things that I teach my clients is to fast forward, the process. It took me 8 years to get to where I am. I don't want it to take you 8 years. I want you to, a year, max 2 years. We're there. Okay, so this is, depending on where you are, so it's very important that because for sure it takes time to build anything. Okay, but instead of wasting the 8 years that I spent, my clients will be very happy. They are always very happy to bring out money from their account on their card and pay. Why? Because they get the fast forward effect. Okay, that brings them, from where I was, where they are right now to where I am. Okay, right now, so it's extremely important that you know that you need to, in order to do that, evolve, you need to be determined, and then you need to create a system. And for Black Friday, that's next week, by God's grace, I'm going to be starting a very small group. Okay, a very small group for people that want to create their own system. Okay, you want to create a system that converts your prospects into clients. It's an intensive program, and it's going to be really snappy, and it's going to be at a price that is, out of this world. So if you want to be involved, if you want to be in this, I'm going to leave a link to this. Just click on the link and let me know if you want to, get the system, if you want to get your system in place and you want to know about this, and you want to hear, because the price is going to, it's really going to be really small. Okay, so you want to be on the lookout for this. And if you want to be first to know, I'm going to put a link to this so that you can be a part of the first set of people that will hear about it first. Okay. So, again, I'd like to hear from you. Leave me a message. Have you, out of these 3, which of them do you find that you're in right now and you're finding that I'm ready to do this? Is it the evolving? Is it the determination? Is it the creating the system? Which one are you ready for? And click on the link right there, and I'll be very glad. And leave me a comment also. And if you're watching watching from YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, like this and subscribe. If you're watching from Facebook, like and subscribe as well. And I look forward to seeing you and your comments. I'll see you next week. I'll see your comments during the week. Thank you, and take care.